everyone, and welcome to a Crusader Kings episode. This is going to be the first episode of many, and if some of you guys don't know what Crusader Kings is, it's a military kind of medieval strategy game. It's very fun, very complicated, and very hard. So in this episode, I've decided to use the help of AI, and you guys will basically be able to see how that's kind of gone. Actually creating the ruler, I want to go a step even further. I think it'd be quite fun seeing what exactly the AI will think is a good place to start, a good religion, a good faith and culture, and then well, I think I will be left up to do the character creation, because AI is good at stats and numbers, but I think the real creativity, of course, comes from the humans. So far it's given me a straight answer of Institute for Christianity and Gaelic and Culture. Now this was actually a bit different than what it was originally. I think the original one it wanted was the Irish one, but it's picking Gaelic as a better one to be. Now for the appearance, I'm going to I don't know whether to make it a bit more serious or to make him a little silly character, because I can have him be really small. I kind of want him to be really pasty as well. Yeah. I can change his head height. I can make his head just... I think all this should just be maxed out. I think his body should be really small, and he should have a massive head. So all of these, I'm thinking I'm going to just max out. Let me just get rid of the hair. Oh my god. This guy, he's a thinker. Oh wait. There we go. Ah, Chad. Bang. Now, if this guy does decide to make children, I am going to be quite worried for education. Holy, that head.
A few moments later.
For education, it's saying we should go down a martial tree, so it should be one of these ones here. Okay, so during this part, I think the Gemini AI model got a little bit confused. It didn't know exactly what I was asked. When I put everything in, what it wanted, it actually put me to 712 points, but because I was in Iron Man mode, of course, that wasn't going to work. So I fixed everything, and then, yeah, it worked fine. I was able to have 400 points and be able to play in Iron Man mode. For our first name, I think it's only right to name it after the person that actually created this, and that would be Gemini. So I think that would be a great first name, and then we're going to change the name to Google. Now, if I do a little spicy Google search, I reckon I can probably find ourselves a type of robot, or maybe Google banner. Yeah, now we're going to go and actually enter into the game. Start as our ruler, save this bad boy, and we are off. And we've given our first objective and I guess option we should go down. So the first thing to do, I think, is just to rightfully ask Google what on earth they think we should do. As I said, the AI will be helping us make most of the main decisions, but as for us, we are actually going to be doing the I guess main controlling of the game. So these escort missions are perfect for us. I do want to try and keep a nice clean record when it comes in terms of lawful ship. I don't know why my brain absolutely froze there, but I think this will be good, as some of the things that we can do, such as the Knight of the Swan. And we can even buy land, so when we actually kind of get a bit further through the game, get a bit more of our monies up, not our funnies up, we should be able to do so. So I can actually already make a request here, and I can already request a men-at-arms regiment, which would be great, because that means that we don't have to spend any amount of gold, and 9 times out of 10 they do tend to give us armoured soldiers, which are quite cool. And I can actually already upgrade these guys further to a better size. Now, in future times, if you want to check to see who actually is that you're giving, say if it was this man, I could actually hover over what he has in his military strength, and I believe he would actually gift you one of these two. men at arms, as they would, that's what he's actually got available to give to you. So if we look at our contracts that we've now got available, as you see, we need to move to get more, or we can simply move over here towards the Welsh area of early England. But the first thing I'm going to do before I move there is I'm actually going to go into the castle holding. One of my things I like to do is actually come here, because sometimes you find a hooded figure, and they will tell themselves, this is who we are. And you can have a look at their traits now. As you can see, I'm someone with low intrigue, but a woman of this skill would be very good for my camp. So when I'm doing any kind of schemes or anything like that, it would just make it a bit more easy. Now, it is a lot of our money, but that was everything we earned from the escort mission, and we can easily earn it back. But for now, I want to gain this trait here, so I'm actually going to pick it. Now I'm going to head back here, as I am now done. And as you can see, that new woman that I have actually got into my thing, I'm actually going to marry her. Partially because I want to kind of get a child spawned in relatively soon, and then be able to, continue the play. Okay, so now that I've actually got her hide, as you can see, she's actually good. Aptitude for to be my second, which means I actually get a boost to all of these traits to my character. So if I appoint her now, bang, as you can see, all my traits now are a lot more higher. Along with the fact that these are all applying, so I'm going to get even more better in my prowess, along with my caravan master. This makes journeys a bit more better, and I kind of want him just to improve his skills. That is going to cost me a little bit of prestige, but I reckon through personal battles I can kind of carry on forward. The next objective that we want to be looking for is a personal position. These guys will be good as any kind of illness or wearies that we have when actually along the way they can kind of fix. So now we're actually going to get our AI back into this, because we've got another decision to make, and that will be the Ducks of God. That is our name of our clan. Holy. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to ask AI what is our best what's it called, purpose of our camp. Are we going to become wanderers, swords for hire, scholars, explorers, freebooters, or even become legitimists? Of course we can't do this one, as we don't have no claims on any of these as of yet. Pick becomes swords for hire. I kind of was going to hesitate to guess that it was going to go towards this one. What this does for you is it basically allows your camp to have, as you can see, new upgrades, and you can access these special officers, which will again give you some more perks, which can be good as well. So I'm going to let time move itself on just a little bit. So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to look to move into a different location, as there isn't anything here. However, before I do so, I do want to see if the town crier is about and if he's got any cool contracts for us. There's treasure map contract, which hopefully this will encounter our. You know what? Hell yeah, we'll go on a treasure hunt. I don't know what kind of contract that does for us, but let's have a look. Let's travel without our camp. Let me see what I can find. So we're now going to start traveling on our epic journey along the seas here. And what have I got? Now I've got this treasure map here, which I can equip, which is actually going to allow us to gain that 0.01 that we was actually losing from our caravan master training his skills. So as we plunder across the seas, I'm actually going to speed up time, as it would be useless for us to just to wait. Oh, now we've got another option here. Typically, whenever I do this personally, I tend to not do it, as I like to try and gain as much piety as I can, as this helps, as I say, with your head of faith. But with what the AI has told us so far, apparently we don't have a head of faith, which I'm not too sure how much is true. But we're going to see what actually option it allows. Well, what the AI is now going to say to us. And now it's actually asking me to say, I'm sure nobody would notice. And hey ho, we've just gained another 50 gold as we've just robbed someone from their grave. It seems like as if this AI is very much on the fact of, we'll just take whatever we can and want. And now we've been given a martial contest here. So is it going to ask us if we should just move along, or am I going to do it? I will do it. And would you look at that, I actually won the duel. This absolute mammoth of a man, who is, by the seams of it, 3'2" or something like that. you know, oh wow. So far it looks like as if we've actually just we found it. And so the additional that's going to be sold because we're at max capacity, which is actually perfect for us. And we got sold that to the market there for an extra 50 gold. So now we're already at 170 gold, which is insane. Now I do believe that we did have another one of those that we could do, but we have been hit with yet another another option here. So I'm asking the AI again. I've got a feeling it's going to go for keep my options open to kind of get that flexible leader. Let's see what it's thinking. I must claim some land in the future. Oh, so this is actually going to give us lust for land, which will give us increased martial, and we get the option just actually lose stress because I'm already ambitious. I do actually want to head over to Wessex, over here where the petty king is, as you can sometimes, when moving to these capitals of these cities, actually meet the kings. For some reason, there is an option that you can do, where basically you are able to go to the pub, and much like how we met our wife, who's a hooded figure, you can actually meet the king and queens of your country, as I think once you get to a certain level of leadership, one of the decisions that you can make is you can go in disguise and meet people. So what I'm actually going to do here, as this has been quite already long-winded, I'm actually going to skip forward a little bit ahead for you guys, and I'm going to get to the point where I'm about to take over a country or maybe do something great and ambitious, and then I'm actually going to bring us back in there so you guys can see that. Too far away from where I actually just said I was going to skip forward a bit. Some of you might be able to tell by the date. We actually got to a tournament. One of them started. This wasn't by my choice, it just happened. And with this, I believe the best case of option that the AI is going to tell us to do is to actually go into triumphing our own win. Ceremony has begun. We will get them next time. Unfortunately, we didn't win this one, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm now engaged in a ceremony. We're talking to lots of people, which is giving us lots of prestige. We'll now finish the tournament because, yeah. So let's have a look at some of these. We've got some hired muscle here, so we can go over here to these guys and have a little bit of a fight with them, a bit of a word, and see what happens. Okay, and literally just as I've gone to go make a cut for the time lapse, this has happened. I went into the castle, and as I said, there was a hooded figure. I went to go see who it was, and lo and behold, it's the petty king Alfred of Wessex. It looks like as if he needs to, you know, do some things. So what I can do is I can successfully have him participate in a martial challenge, which will actually allow us to become a friendship, or I can do it this way, which will allow me to gain a weak hook. I think both of these here would actually give us no. So this one here will allow me to basically just become friends of him. This one allows me to become friends of him as well. However, this one is of course the cheaper option, so I'm going to pick this one. I probably should ask the AI for that one, but I've got a feeling that's the route that it would have gone. Okay, so during this part of the video, I don't know what happened. I don't know if my OBS just wasn't on, didn't capture the files or what, but I just can't seem to find any of the video footage. So I'm going to try and explain it. So I met King Alfred in the pub, dealt with his tab, and then proceeded just to continuously grow my army. I used my hooks and favors through the kings that I was doing a quest for, and I'd actually been able to acquire more regiments. I had 2 Huskills, I think bowmen, and then of course the armoured footmen, which you saw at the very beginning. When it cuts back, it'll be a bit later into the episode when I have all of these things, and so that kind of should hopefully help out that missing memory part. I'm now an older-ish man, and yeah, England has formed. Lots of different things are happening here. My army is now a lot bigger with lots of regiments, and Brittany has decided to move itself into over here, and so whilst they've done that, they lost an incredible amount of troops. They are allied to these people here, but it's not going to be nothing in the terms of numbers that I've got. As well, no children, so it means great. They can't just immediately start shelling out their children for allies, and they haven't got that much gold. In fact, I've got more gold than them, and I did have a lot more before the war started, but before it joined, I decided to spend 300 on basically making my army bigger, and then also upgrading and making sure that these guys were also all full. Their capital here, so the boat is about to head onto shore there, and I believe no matter what is waiting for me here, they will die. Unfortunately, my character is quite strong. His martial trait is very keen, and this guy had no men-at-arms whatsoever. So we are pretty much now just going to sit here and conquer this as well. Now, I can't remember what exactly happened in the last bit of what I included, but my wife is dead. She was actually a very, very evil. She was called the Loyal, when in terms of it, she was a villain. She was a murderer. She tried killing someone else. She put her in prison, and then I just chopped her head off. Yes. So and so with that out of the way, it basically meant as well, though, that I wasn't able to produce any more children. But the two children I did actually, summon, none of them actually inherited any of the traits that I wanted to. This one here is, growing up. He's doing his little thing. I can still educate him again, can I? This is my courtier, which I don't know where I got her from, but yeah. There we go. It has now been done. I can enforce the demands. And just like so, my son, Ash Jeeves, is your new heir. So, as you can see, all these new things have popped up as we are now the king of Brittany. So there's prisoners that I can ransom. This one here is a measly 10. I've been called to war by Germany, and so to honour our family agreement, we will, of course, help them. Okay, and so we was actually able to conquer that very easily, which basically means that we can now carry on doing what we was doing. One of the things that I've just realised, I don't think I even requested to kind of have knights coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon some Clements and invite some knights over. These guys are going to help us to basically strengthen our military size, especially with the fact that we have got a lot of armies now being built, a lot of money in the bank, and we are slowly starting to convert our country to what it, reforming it into, what we decide for it to be. Now it will take quite some time, and a lot of this is due to the fact that these are children with regions that may be self-interested. For example, this one is a sadistic, ambitious, and a greedy region. So she will be an awful person in charge there. By the looks of things, this used to be France. At the very start of the game, you do kind of have Germany, you have West France here, and then Italy kind of tends to bridge up north. At some point in this game, don't know when it happened, but it looks like as if France broke up. It had its own little... everything was one thing, and then everything seemed to kind of fall apart. You can potentially see remnants of it, because some of these places, like this one, for example, has all of the realms here, and they have 2,610. Their military strength is apparently inferior to ours, partially to the fact that they've probably got no allies either. Change this to... Google, as we are, that's the AI that we're using today, and then we're going to randomize this a couple of times, see if a cool one pops through. Bang, that will do. Looks like a nice cool color. Submit this to Google so I can see the differences between what is old Brittany and the new one.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it turns out the AI has been making some very rash decisions. We're in quite a bit of poverty. There has been a plague that has absolutely ravaged our country, and now that has finally finished. I've got some powerful people here in court position, people that want court positions. I'm going to have to lose the 2 there just to kind of get that there on the move. Yeah, for the most part, it was quite good, as it basically allowed us to gain what we wanted to. These guys have, I guess, got claims on certain parts of our land, which we can't really do for now. And unfortunately, I can't even go to war with them, as I'm 1, in debt, and 2, yeah, it's against like the religion, I think. So we're just going to simply keep assigning people here into court positions. Hopefully something nice figures out, but I've got a feeling I actually, because I have the consumption trait, I will eventually be on death's door. Hopefully he'll provide, and there we go, I have finally died. Okay, and yeah, that's basically what happened. I didn't sort out any of the titles. Wasn't able to make any claims. Was insular in a majorly massive Catholic area of the game. Story of this: don't use AI. It's all full of games. And yeah, that's about it.